Good evening. My name is Boss, and here we have a C West cast, actually, replay cast from earlier today. Trash Pandas cats my keyboards. I do not know much about them, so I'm very interested to see the playstyle that both these teams will come up with. Let's have a quick transition over to see where we came, what map we're starting with, and how we got there. Excellent, it's working. Right, we see that Trash Pandas actually did ban out Ultrac Pass and Cursed Hollow, while Cats on My Keyboard banned out Volskaya Industries and Sky Temple. Yes, that is definitely Sky Temple. I do not know who picked this first map as per, because I like to go to these series without spoiling myself how many maps there are or what the results are. So I'm unsure who banned Tomb of the Spider Queen. Well, picked Tomb of the Spider Queen. We are going there first. And I'm going to give a volume warning now. I'm not quite sure of the sound balance of what is about to happen. Hopefully it is not too loud. We could try fix it on the fly, but please someone, if you are there, tell me if it is too loud or not, or else you may go a bit deaf. And welcome to the first map of the series, again being that Tomb of the Spider Queen. On the left hand side we see the side of Trash Pandas with GG Valera on the Junkrat, Obelisk on... I play this hero, I should know what he's called. Blaze, Xeno Ender on the Imperius, Milk on the Greymane, and Cortezal. Yeah, Cortezal, that sounds right. On the Stukov. On the right-hand side, we have Ghost on the Zul'jin, PJ Red on the... Please stop hiding behind people. May. Koala on the Diva. Nejum on the Asmodan. As well as Apple on the right wing back here. We do see, again, posturing at beginning, just ready for this first fight to break out. A little bit of damage being traded. Diva trying to block, eat a little bit of it. However, her defense matrix not quite working the same as I've watched and doesn't eat every projectile being thrown at her. And here we just see the general first wave being cleared. Just see who gets that macro advantage. And we do actually see a very early start for early rotation advantage for the side of Cats on My Keyboard. Right. Very aggressive rotation here from the side of Trash Pandas as Apple gets dropped very low. PJ getting a stun on Xeno, maybe not getting stunned on Xeno Ender, and actually Milk taking a lot of damage of that exchange. Having to back out a little bit. Cats on My Keyboard again getting that, trying to get rotation advantage. However, we do see an interruption of rotation by Obelisk and Xeno Ender, trying to keep them away from that wave a bit longer. However, we don't see the clear quite coming through from Junkrat to basically clear it up so they lose experience. Hello, Lich Queen. I hope you're doing well this evening. Right, let's go over some talents very quick. We do see a return of a Run It Down Asmo as we see Greed at level 1. To those of you who don't know, once that first level 1 quest is done, well, actually baseline it does more damage to non-heroic targets, as we do actually see a stun combo coming out onto said Asmodan. Asmodan getting out relatively well, putting beam onto Obelisk. Obelisk losing a lot of health and will go down to the Nexus forces. Still some of the stronger forces within the game, especially at this early level. That damage does add up quite quickly. And we just do see the slight experience, almost half a level of experience advantage going over to the side of Cats on My Keyboard. We do see it, again, as I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted, 30 stacks on Asmodan, not getting up there, not at any fast rate, so to say. And we do see Zul'jin also stacking his baseline auto attack talent, which as he auto attacks more, it gets stronger and stronger. PJ Reed just handing in gems early as they do have to aggress in a lot of these situations. Apple does see where the Trash Pan's rotating through. Obelisk does get stunned, polymorphed, eating a lot of CC and damage, however it does not go down and uses the charge to get out safely. banked through that polymorph and not polymorph, the silence circle from Stukov and the oil slowing them down. What's happening down here? We did see Junkrat actually take the camp quite early on. Koala now having to deal with both waves and Junkrat actually eating a lot of damage from this. Okay, we see a use of early bomb, should be able to deal with this camp. We do see that. And that's the offlane life, unfortunately. Going back to the interesting stuff. I was taking a lot of damage, having to rotate down quite a aggressive path, but however it does back out to the safety of his team. There's nothing coming of that little chase, but a bit more than... But still a little bit of interrupt. PJ Red not quite hitting the stun anyone. Polymorph hitting the Xeno Ender. Xeno Ender taking a lot of damage here, and will go down to Asmodam's laser pointer. That's rough, you don't like to see it, but hey, it is a game. Right, and we just again going back to these rotations. We will see at the moment the side of Cats on my keyboard getting closer to those level 7s, man. It's going to be hard to remember names off the back. Trash Pandas. There we go. So just general waves being cleared. Just let's see how Asmo's going. 58. So a little bit of a jump, not much. Have a quick look at some stats, just because. Oh, never mind. Things are going to happen. Excellent slide onto Xeno Ender. Xeno Ender gets hit by the stun. The silent circle was tried to peel for them, however, that consistent damage from both Zul'jin and from Ghost and Nejum on the Asmodan doing a decent amount of damage to start off with, as we do see first Web Weaver's phase going over to the side of... Cool. I never see the wrong team. Cats on my keyboard, and we do actually see Zul'jin going down by an excellent lockdown to silence chain. And Brightwing just showing that they could not use a I believe Phase Shift was cancelled, but they cannot use it yet again. And we do see PJ Red topped up here. Junkrat able to get Diva Mech in bottom lane. Good thing to note that is still half a hero worth of experience. Excellent mine into the gate. Diva does get rooted, however, is going to run out, dodging for mines. But she cannot dodge auto attacks. Anyway, looking back up the top, we see top being pushed in, and we do see this lane getting pushed quite a bit in all divs, because there is Boss just sitting up here, able to push down into this lane from any team who pushes it. Okay. I do like the Web Weaver. It may have been quite an early one. We're sitting around a 4-minute Web Weaver mark. However, we did see front gate gotten. Should mention that Web Weaver in mid is already gone, and Junkrat just taking his time clearing bottom. Right, and now we see that 5-minute mark has come. The boss is now up. On a lot of maps, actually, the 5-minute mark is when boss comes. Not many people know that. I believe you can hear it on Towers of Doom. There is a loud laugh as the boss swoops down to the map from the sky, essentially. But this map, not so much. A fun fact about this boss, it is the same boss as Sky Temple. Anyway, we do see a charge coming on to PJ Red here. Phase Shift coming out and gets off in time. Silence, however, circle coming out from Stukov, taking a lot of damage. PJ Red is able to slide to safety. We see an excellent stun circle hitting both the Imperious and the charging boy himself, Blaze, as we don't see much we see a lot of damage coming out from both sides, however, no kills secured. Again, a lot of close fights here. We see... I like this, just... Trash Pandas using the time now to turn in. Obelisk gets a charge up, however, is quite low health, made a very interesting choice. Ghost backing out, getting those orders off, trying to get his baseline up. Milk barely holding on. Thank you to that Stukov. Nejum using that laser beam, the AoE laser beam actually, to get extra damage to Xeno Ender. Xeno Ender does spear out, however, out front pan into a fire, gets hit by a Diva Bomb, but does not go down. Excellent defensive play here by Cats on my keyboard, keeping the side of Trash Pandas from turning in, and we do see that 10s will be coming up first for the side of Cats on my keyboard, and here are the heroic talents. Okay, we're seeing some standard ones so far. We see a lot of standard ults. We see Micro Missiles, Ice Wall, Tars Dingo, and Blink Heal from the Brightwing. However, we do see a run it down. We do see the traditional run it down Asmo build with Q at the extra minion damage at 1, as well as the Siege Boys Demonic Invasion at 10. We do now see 10s come through for the side of Trash Pandas. Oh, actually, we're going to see his fight take out, so hopefully... No, we're playing relatively safe so far. Apple stepping up a bit high compared to their tank, however, it's not quite punished for it, even though both of the tanks on the side of Trash Pandas are very good engaged tanks. Koala stepping up very aggressive into this camp. Excellent dunk hitting Milk, and not much else, however. Right, to quickly go over 10s. Actually, GG Valera is coming in with it. Nope, decides back out. Excellent spear by Xeno into Veus Riptire. And that was Curse Bull, I believe. Her Zul'jum has to pop unkillable to survive this. Apple and Koala also getting relatively low. Brightwing blinks in. Ghost, however, goes down. However, Xeno Ender will be very soon to follow. Goes down. Koala loses mech. Oh my god, Brightwing losing a lot of health. We did see come out Low Blow, which was buffed in a recent patch. Does 125% extra damage to targets below 50% now. PJ Red actually being able to get out in a very risky situation. However, was able to hold on by the skin of their teeth, even without a Brightwing keeping them up. Obelisk getting very aggressive for someone with 35 gens. But we see now that Blue Web, he did not need to have it hand in, as Blue Web Weaver phase will come in. I think it's Leb Weaver. That's not a word, but it's a word I decided to use, so here we are. Right. We see a posturing for mid. I do like this, as mid is where you can control a large amount of vision of a map. So if you have your waves pushed quite into it, the other team will, like let's say blue pushes in quite a bit, and red wave is only up to about here. You'll not be able to see any part of this map. I was saying this anyway, but instead they decided to go up here and hit the wall. I do like this. There is not as much of a defense here. It's only Zul'jum and Brightwing are not actually the best to step up. Xeno Ender is starting to getting very aggressive here, and we do see Divamet going down yet again. Oh, that is a Riptide out onto Koala. Koala, however, going down to 2 of the Junkrat mines. Xeno Ender gets an excellent spear onto the May. Apple also just narrowly avoiding it. I was going to say barely, then decided to change to nearly. Did not work. Excellent charge by the Blaze, hitting up Xeno, following it up, which will lead to the kill on Asmodan. However, Blaze was taking those shots for quite a long time. Will go down. Xeno Ender also staying in a bit too long, taking those shots. That is a lot of gems down. Those gems are worth 20, 25, I believe. And it will be a lot lost on the side of Trash Pandas. We did see Blue at least get bottom forward out of this. However, they did lose their next turn in with those 2 deaths. A bit costly, actually, for this phase. However, still recoverable. And they did at least get 1 forward out of it, meaning that there is structural advantage over to the side of Trash Pandas. This is just going to be me going, what's his name? I need to like put on a sticky note on one of my monitors going, these are the names, put it on each side and just go from there. Okay. We do see that Cats on my keyboard, again I should probably do the sticky note thing, is deciding to push in this open 4. I do like this as we see actually a full, both 5-man teams pushing up from both sides. Okay, we see the siege, not the siege breakers, the demonic invasion getting dropped quite early. Xeno Ender taking a lot of damage actually. Obelisk does not quite hit the charge on anyone and actually goes quite fast. Koala gets hit by Curse Bullet, but however flies out, taking a lot of damage still from that fort, and Stukov silence, but does not get spared by Xeno Ender. Obelisk getting relatively low, very bottom to step back up. Excellent spear by Imperius, as you see the silence circle dropped again. As Stukov picked up the 13, that gives it cooldown reduction where it hits for a certain amount of enemy hero a certain amount of times and gets reset. Let's actually have a look at that. 6 times. That's not that much, in my opinion, but it is doing quite well. We see excellent spear by Xeno Ender and actually gets melted. Curse Bullet was used here as well, and, well, Diva had health, and then just it was gone. Just like that. Obelisk rotating down to defend bot, while Cortezel was decided just to silence all of us. Anyway, we see Red has decided back out. Good safe choice here. We do see that the side of Trash Pandas is closer to next Tandon. However, it did lose all 3 forts that phase. Yep. We see both teams mirroring the same thing now, just playing safe and clearing their siege camps. Not siege. Whew. Bruiser camps. So we should have just a general maybe scuffle happening here, as these camps help de-push any web weavers that come down. And we do see now that on the side of Trash Pandas, they do have the next turn. And Koala getting very aggressive, away from the rest of their team actually. Apple should be able to phase shift in if needed. Excellent stun coming out of Koala, however no, we just see the blink heal. Very defensive here. Very defensive play by the side of Cats on my keyboard, as they are down 16s, it should be mentioned. They're doing their best to stall, just not really pushing in too hard. Obelisk getting an excellent 4-man stun. Diva Mech being bopped back into the team. PJ Red having to use defensive, taking a large amount of damage. Ghost holding on there, even though hit by the Junkrat Riptire. Almost Xeno Ender are able to disengage. However, it has been Cortezo left high to dry with 26 gems. However, Imperius goes down first, back on the left-hand side. Nejum, however it's pronounced, is just chasing down this very sad-looking Stukov, just trying their best. Trying their best. There we go. Now it's down. Anyway. Ah, that looks like a boss call. I do not know who called for it, but it indeed has been called. Ghost popping that trait Amani Rage early just so we can see the extra bomb, the boss being taken down at an extra fast speed. As for those again who don't know, the lower Zul'jin's health for faster heal autos. I know a lot of people in here will know, just every now and again, some people who maybe don't know how this works drop by. And we do see boss going over very quickly to the side of Cats on my keyboard, and we should see a boss push here. I did like this from Junkrat, he is getting the Junkrat the same. He is getting, yes, the Junkrat at the same time. No, he's getting the Siege Giants at the same time. Boss push is a good idea considering that they're not near the next objective, unlike how Trash Pandas are. They do need this like push up to just help get that pressure, the lane of pressure up, so they're not getting a large web weaver phase in. We do see at the moment that the waves will be quite staggered coming in as top, mid, then bot all kind of making this nice diagonal line across the map. Xeno Ender taking a lot of damage here actually, and we do see the Demonic Invasion coming out. The Demonic Invasion does do a lot of damage to structures as we see it getting melted here. However, the side of Cats My Keyboard decides to leave and just let the boss go. Very low health in this keep now. Yes, keep. I know what my things are and Heroes of the Storm. You know it. Okay, very safe just handing in here, making sure if they do die, they not lose too much in the way of gems. Koala we see clearing this back siege camp, just no harassment at all. Nejum coming down to get the stacks. We should mention that their baseline has completed, same as Zul'jin and same as Blaze, all getting their respective bonuses of the laser beam doing extra damage and having range, Vortex having extra damage, and Blaze having an unstopped. May is quite a tanky tank, but she got absolutely melted there. Hello, Shy. I hope you're doing well this morning, I believe, for you. Would it not? Would it not be? English is definitely my first language. Sorry, just had a quick drink of water. And here we just see it. Waves actually, well, this wave is very pushed up for the side of Trash Pandas as we are getting under 4 now. Excellent fort dive coming out by Xeno Ender, however, decides to disengage as Brightwing had decided to blink out. Xeno Ender getting relatively low, Imperius having to use their angelic armaments to keep their health up. The shield does break before the passive is able to, the sword's able to be fired, however, we still got reasonable value here of a gate and a tower. Apple got a... Milk took a bite out of that apple. The apple got low. Anyway, let's just move the camera up here. Koala taking a decent amount of damage, dropping bomb to help deter the side of Trash Pandas. Okay, we're just having relatively safe plays so far. We do see that, however, Trash Pandas really want this map. Not this map, sorry. Well, yes, this map, obviously. But they really wanted the fort, and they decided to take it. And rotating down to look FC if they can now do the same in mid. We're seeing excellent fight here. I should really close that. We're seeing excellent fight here from both sides as well. Both sides are orientated towards this team fight. However, we do see a bit extra push pressure, some macro pressure from Azmodan, as he is known for what he can do in the split pushing value. As we saw, actually, heroics. Storm Talents. Yes, Storm Talents coming through from the side of Cats on My Keyboard. And now the side of Trash Pandas. Quickly go over and we see the Junkrat Riptire upgrade. We see Cleaves now on Dog. Dog is all I could think of. I am looking at Greymane and just went dog. Okay. Very smart of them to clear out this siege wave. Oh, excellent spear by Imperius, follow up by from the silence from Stukov, however will not get much from that two people hit by Tire. We saw a 50-second cooldown on Riptide, dropping at 25 seconds. That is the power of that ultimate. If it hits 3 people per... Oh, I'm well aware that this was probably, of all teams that you could support, Cats on My Keyboard is probably the most relative one to how Darius and such decide to love you dearly. We do actually see Junkrat going down here. That's a very unfortunate timing from the side of... Oh no, there are 2 going down as Red Web Weavers are coming in. We do see a very low top fort. That will go down almost... I say almost immediately, however this top wave very pushed out. Diva deciding to help the Web Weaver talk up? Push up. Walk up. Walk up is what I was going to say. Okay. Excellent to hear. At least it's a slow day and not a hectic one. Unlike this game, which has been a bit hectic at times, as we see this Web Weaver getting this first keep. Almost taking a lot of damage from the Zul'jin. Well, a lot of damage being relative. Tank damage is a lot of damage, and we see the first Web Weaver and the second one up here shall be about to be pushed into core. The Silent Circle, while it does do bonus damage to heroes, it does not do bonus damage to any of these waves, and we just see the shove coming out from Stukov, the swipes coming out from Stukov, trying to stall out the waves for his team. However, core is going down relatively fast, as core call has been called by Cats on My Keyboard, and that will be the first map going over to the side of Cats on My Keyboard. Let's have a quick transition over to the game summary screen. I have clicked the wrong button, but we are here anyway. We see that excellent healing come out from both sides. Brightwing and Stukov staying very close, both known for their sustained and potentially large burst if the time calls and the cooldown is there. Junkrat was doing a lot of soak throughout the whole game. 147k siege while 18k soaked. They're very picking up the extra work on the side team as Blaze was running the 4-man and actually pulled off a lot of value. As we saw the Blaze stun into the Imperius stun chain happening a lot of the time. However, the side of Cats on My Keyboard did have a very good counter to that with the Mei. Heavy lockdown such as that can be counter-engaged on, and Mei is a wonderful tank for that with their Blizzard. And we saw that happen a few times throughout that game. D.Va also good for cancelling this out. Your cats just really don't want you to stream, I guess. D.Va also good for cancelling this out, as well as Asmodan, as all those heroes have some form of area denial, or at least, in D.Va's case, for damage reduction on her defense matrix. Right, we're going to quickly show some talents. Here you are, we saw a trap build from Junkrat, getting very, very standard build these days, as the Chattering Teeth, as well as the big traps, not getting hit by minion waves, does a lot of zoning and can be quite a hassle, even in just a regular controlled situation. We see now that an E-build has come out from Stukov, as we did see Reactive Ballista Spores was nerfed in the last batch, and we saw this level 1 talent of Low Blow being buffed. So we may see more of this coming forward, but we'll have to see. Otherwise, across the board, relatively standard stuff. It was nice to see her run it down Asmo again, even on the smaller map. It did end up paying off. But anyway, we are going to take a quick break while I set up the next map. And I'll see you all shortly. And welcome back. Right, as for the screen, we see that in fact we will be going to Dragonshire for the second map. Some people really don't like this map. Some people really love this map, and honestly the question comes down to, if you play offlane, do you play offlane? If yes, you probably like it. If no, you probably don't. It's a bit like Braxis in that regards, where the offlane is actually one of the most important lanes within the offlanes in those two maps, particularly in Dragonshire as well. It's some of the most important offlanes within the game. Anyway, let's jump on over to in-game, and we'll just use the normal transition I've been using. Right, as we get into the game, I should probably stop this before I forget. Moving back over, and we are starting our game on Dragonshire. We see on the left-hand side of Trash Pandas, GG Valera? I cannot remember how to say the name. I'm sorry if I offend anyone through how I pronounce names or how I just fail completely with the names. Xeno Ender we see on the Imperius yet again. Cortezal back on the Stukov Obelisk, back on the Blaze. After I've said it for a whole game, I completely forget. And Milk on a very interesting hero of Kerrigan. On the right hand side we see Koala on... Oh, I'm loving you already. I did not realize that was your name. I even said it last game, and now I love you, Koala. On the Sonya, Apple on the Malfurion, PJ Red on May, Ghost on the Junkrat, and Koala... Wait, that's Koala again. Nejum on the Vala. However, we do see Malfurion going down there to an excellent stun combination by the side of Trash Pandas, as we see them getting that very early rotations up. Interesting that we see Vala going top yet again and having Blaze stay with the 4-man. Excellent stun coming out, hitting the stun chain onto, oh my god, PJ Red taking a lot of health and damage. Nejum just getting that extra auto attack damage in, but however, it's not much for Peel. This stun combination has been very deadly in the last game at least. Nejum playing very brave considering how much health they're on, and their healer only just getting a leaf on them now. Very afraid seeing this just Blaze floating around this area, ready to charge in. However, they have been pinged, so the side of Cats on my keyboard may be aware that they are there. Nejum getting hit by that original stun, however, W misses from Kerrigan as well as Xeno Ender's spear misses, meaning they're able to get out safely. This, however, is where things will get a bit more difficult as they need to be able to contest this point. However, looking at the top lane, Koala has been getting very hurt throughout this. Sonya is not fantastic into Sylvanas for the beginning phase, as well as even later phases, and needs to find a way to sustain through all of her damage. We're about to see both shrines, I don't know what to call them, capture points? Something. This moon and the sun up top being channeled over by the side of Trash Pandas. However, this Junkrat mine is very good zoning for this Dragon Knight, as it will stop anyone turning in, and we do see turning in, becoming the Dragon Knight, and we do see that this bottom shrine has gone over to the side of Cats on my keyboard, as no one on the side of Trash Pandas is able to defend. Speaking of Trash Pandas, all 4 of them roll back down to the spot lane, as we're seeing them just stick together as a core. As with those 4 heroes, they do have quite a good stun and dive train. However, it is a very all-in playstyle, and that can cause problems for that all-in playstyle. We see Junkrat has rotated up on Sylvanas. Sylvanas, however, does get the wave out onto point, as the gank unfortunately was failed. Obelisk rotating back down with Milk. The charge falls just short of Apple, not quite getting the stun off. Excellent combo, man. Milk. Oh my lord! They just died. I don't know what else to say. They just died. PJ Red able to get out. However, Malfurion not as lucky. I completely forgot to look at talents. I'm sorry, any of you talent lovers. I just completely forgot. We see Valera stacking Q. It did get a nerf recently. It used to be get 7 stacks every time it hit an enemy hero with the initial impact. Now it's only 6. We see Nejum in a very aggressive area, and they will go down for that. Fortunately, it is not Creed of a Hunter, so they do not lose any Gambit bonuses from it. As you see, 7's now coming in from the side of Trash Pandas. Okay, we're getting a full combo build actually from Kerrigan. Kinetic Fulmination was the older and still a bit of a popular playstyle from the side of... Oh, I've accidentally selected Stukov. That's fine. Stukov needs some limelight eventually. And now I've selected a minion. Apparently I can do that. Okay. Someone kill that minion, please. Thank you. And we do see Bruiser's camp being taken over by the side of Trash Pandas. Junkrat looking for an interesting rotation here, however, not the beefiest people. Oh, the stun combo again, being able to blow up Vivala. Apple also getting very low. PJ Red being the May, still quite tanky. It gets an awkward slide over to the opposite side of where she wants to be. Spear misses, however, Milk is going very all in on her. She is barely able to hug that wall to avoid the W from the Kerrigan, and it's able to get out with their life barely. I do like the call here from Trash Pandas just to heavily siege. We see the Glow Quest coming off from Blaze, meaning that now on their trait they have Unstoppable as well as the armor and damage bonus. Oh, Valor's being very brave yet again, rolling into where the enemy team is. Xeno Ender does have Spear Up, but should be good enough. PJ Red is getting on to try interrupt. Blaze does get the stun onto PJ Red. PJ Red unstops before any more damage can come to them. Oh, and there is the Malfurion Sleep Root. Currently a very strong talent. Oh my lord, the damage coming out from that Stukov low blow yet again, and the just stun combo from both Obelisk and Imperius, just doing a bit too much for them. My word. Oh, Wildgrove. Interesting that we don't see the cleanse from Malfurion. It's good AoE cleanse actually. It's 45 second. Anyone who has a leaf on them, a regrowth on them, does get cleansed. We don't see anyone actually in position to become a Dragon Knight at the point of time, but that is now available for the side of Trash Pandas to hand. And we see red here, red side of Cats on My Keyboard pushing in here, flipping objective, while I do like the take of the siege camps, just taking those camps off the map, meaning that both A, Cats on My Keyboard cannot give them, and B, that they do give that extra macro pressure as these giants will push in waves. Xeno Ender does, however, miss his spear. PJ Red getting pulled back in, getting stunned for actually all their whole health bar. They were unable to move 100 to 0. That is what we call painful. As we do see the trait coming out from Sylvanas now trying to get this tower. Blaze goes quite deep actually for the charge. Takes a lot of damage from Junkrat. Tired. Trap will be chasing them off, however. Xeno Ender also... Ooh, this trap is trying its best. Slow trap that could. The silence, however, trying to zone out them. GG Valera stayed in a bit too long and will go down for it. Did get fought. Did lose their life. Maybe not the best trade in the world, but now that this lane is opened up quite a bit, there is not much room for error, as the retreat path is now completely open for the side of Trash Pandas to chase down Cats on My Keyboard. Sonya's running it down, by the way. She's been left alone for a while. Wonder how long she gets away with this. I never get away with this. I wish I got away with this. We see a gank bush being set up here. I do like this coming out. Oh, but however, they've now decided to go down very aggressively onto the side of Cats on My Keyboard. We see Obelisk get the charge only onto PJ Red. PJ Red, however, not getting hit by any follow-up CC. This is a very awkward fight for the side of Cats on My Keyboard as they are very split. PJ Red gets hit by stun. Is actually able to get rid of a Kerrigan. The silence getting him very low. They're able to slide out to safety. Apple eating all the angelic armaments damage. However, it was not enough to give him down. PJ Red very lucky to get out of there as they did, as they're hit by an excellent CC chain that looks very well practiced. I do not want to go into this team at this current point in time, just seeing how much actually happens coming out. And the Junkrat tire will barely get milk. Koala gets an excellent spear onto them, taking down their damage. They get hit by the not Xenomorph, that's just entirely the wrong franchise altogether. Ultralisk, and getting an excellent stun train out so they cannot do anything. Mind Control hits May mid-icing, and they will also go down. Icing? Ice Slide. Who plays May in chat? What is the E talent? Not E talent, E ability. Yes, I know I said Xenomorph. Very wrong. Alien is not in this game. I wouldn't mind seeing a Xenomorph in this game, but that's basically Dahaka at this point. Stukov, what are you doing, bud? That's not a duel you can win that duel as a Stukov if you play it right. However, Avala has a much easier time winning that fight. We just see now that we're getting a bit more passive on the side of, except Obelisk up here, who's like, yes, I could charge. Xenomorph looking to spear in, hits the spear onto Vala. Vala rolling out. Actually, someone does need to actually stand on this objective, otherwise it will go over. Not objective, but siege, otherwise it will go over. Okay, however, Xeno Ender decides to back out as Stukov has only just respawned. And there's just Chittering Trap doing its thing. This mine is an extra spot. Ooh, Obelisk barely missing the stun, running parallel to Ghost. Oh, there is the mind control. Ghost is losing all their health. And let's have a look at that build really quick, as their health went down very quick to just Sylvanas. We do see what Cold Embrace. Dagger lowering armor by 25% is a lowering armor by 25, meaning the enemy hero will be taking 25% extra damage. That does a lot over a short instance of time, especially with Overwhelming Affliction, which is a lot of extra percent damage to any slow targets. And if they have 3 stacks of Sylvanas' passive, they will be slowed for each auto hit. And I believe this is the first Dragon Knight of the game, as Nejum just gets booted away. No one wants to deal with Vala, I get it. Just get her out of the game, put her over in the corner, and let her do her own thing. Dragon Knight is taking a lot of damage. These Qs actually getting stacked up quite a bit. Oh, there goes Vala again. We heard Riptide coming out, and actually this Avalanche also came out. Apple taking a lot of damage throughout that encounter. However, Fort does go down for the side of Cats on My Keyboard, creating an even further structure advantage for Trash Pandas. As we just see going back to clear. Sylvanas just clearing this camp alone. If even one of these team members over here gets an inkling of what Sylvanas may be doing, this could be danger. As we have known in the past that Sylvanas is just kind of... We've all played the Storm League game where Sylvanas goes, me do camp, nothing else, and run down the camp and just try to solo it, even if the health does take a bit of health damage. But however, nothing lethal, especially at this stage of the game. We do see 16th again come first for the side of Trash Pandas, much like last game. We see the Unstoppable from Sylvanas. Mind Control does come out onto Koala, as Koala's standing in the middle of the enemy team. Stun only hits Xeno Ender, however, and that will be a full stun train as they lose all their health before they are allowed to even get out of the middle of the team. I do like the leap as a respect to I'm going to try get out. However, just a bit too aggressive positioning for Trash Pandas to do anything with it. Okay, just clearing this bottom bruiser camp. That is very fine. Very safe plays now, even though they do have a talent advantage and a man advantage as well. But we do see that there isn't really much to do on the map. Everything that they can do is quite pushed up into each of these keeps, with top, mid, and bot forts being down. We do have a relatively large wave pushing here. As we see, Siege Camp has now been pinged. Yep, we just get this Siege Camp. The 5-man is rotating down from Cats on My Keyboard, however, the side of Trash Pandas does get it before anything else happens. Xeno Ender barely missing that spear. PJ Red getting very aggressive with the enemy team. Blaze charges straight into the sleep route and will be punished for it. We'll see. Excellent Riptide getting Xeno Ender. PJ Red taking a lot of damage here. Did get hit the spear by Kerrigan. Kerrigan getting those resets off multiple times. Nejum getting extra damage. And we see both Blaze and May going down to that exchange. Quartetto playing relatively safe, able to step around the mine so they're not booped back into the enemy team. Very good play by both sides there. Unfortunately, with May going down, that means they do not have really a frontliner who can deal with a lot of this. Like, yes, they do still have the Sonya. However, Sonya has been the offlaner for most of the game, where their Imperius has been running in the 4-man and has built into that tankier Q build. Excellent silence giving vision. GG Valera taking a lot of damage. Nejum has to back out. Barely gets missed by the spear of Xeno Ender, and Milk also looking to push in on them once that sleep route is gone. I do like that now. the Vala has decided to step up to top objective to make it so that blue cannot channel it over. And there is the Junkrat doing their job of stalling it out. One of the best stall heroes in the game. Mind Control comes out onto the Sonya. Sonya taking a lot. The reasonable amount of damage. However, Apple will be going down first, followed by PJ Red getting flipped by full angelic armors. Excellent by Ghost getting a 4-man Riptide. Koala has to use Leap to disengage, and that will be that fight. As we see the other teams coming in. Just blue stepping up to this top point. GG Valera, very low. However, in not any immediate danger, as we do see 2 dead on the side of Cats on my keyboard. This is very brave Vala. Oh, she has been scouted. She has been spared. Stukov gets the silence off. Milk gets the charge, and that will be all she wrote for Vala this life. And we do see Dragonite again channeled over by the side of Trash Pandas. Yep, just general sieging mid. Getting this mid lane open can do a lot for vision, however, a lot of teams actually say the bottom lane is the win condition on these maps. Excellent Sleep Root hitting Milk over here, as well as Blaze just focusing on buildings, as the Dragonite does do that extra damage and has damage reduction again, so takes... Let's try that sentence again, and takes reduced damage from structures. We are hitting the building, yes. The red team of Cats on my keyboard are playing very passive as they are still down a man, and they are down Storm talents, however. We do see actually a relatively standard array of heroics being picked up outside of Blaze having combustion in the first place, but we could talk about that after this map. But however, the most important thing to note here is Dark Lady's call from the Sylvanas. That makes her mind control a 15-second cooldown. It is a 1 second shorter Stitch's hook. That does a lot more. That was an excellent kill by Imperius, getting a lot of damage out onto the Owlman. Why did I say Owlman? Malfurion. May is also soon to follow with the Silencers coming out. Black Arrows will shut down this bottom building. Obelisk does hit the charge onto Ghost. Ghost taking a little bit of damage. However, nothing too lethal. Okay. We do see the charge coming. Vala takes a lot of damage. Leap gets out. Stuns Obelisk, however, Silent Circle means she cannot do much more abilities during that. Just after that Leap. Leap, how it makes you unstoppable? What happens after will not. I believe we've seen it. Oh. Very close, Imperius. Very close indeed. Obelisk is just getting hit. Ghost is getting relatively low, however, is able to get out. Core is starting to go down now. Xeno Ender, relatively low on health, low on resources. However, the main sieger of Valera has still all her health in her pocket, as well as all her mana. Fine on resources. Core hitting 20, 10, and 0. That will be the game. Very good round to the side of Trash Pandas, and that means we will be going likely to a map free. Well, not likely. We are definitely going to a map free. Let's have a quick look at talents, however. If I get this right. I got it right. Quickly looking at talents, we see very standard builds coming out. The Blaze taking up Combustion is a very unusual choice. We do see a lot more Bunker for the most part. However, it has actually paid off this map. So I was hesitant about it. It didn't pay off last map, so I was just watching going, come on Blaze, show me the power of his Combustion, and then flash fire at 20. And they did that map. The damage did actually pay off, even with Malfurion's AoE kind of healing over time. But another unusual thing to note was Impervious from Imperius. We do see it getting picked up more now than the trait talent, as that extra 75 armor and unstop, spell armor I should say, and unstop means you can take a lot of punishment and still get through most things with most of your health. And we did see it happen on quite a few occasions. We should mention that if 20s came around, this was starting to look very scary. Vala 20 is considered a monster in a lot of situations, as Puncturing Arrow, with about 4 resets due to rolls, can do very quickly a lot of damage, like multiple thousands in fact. Otherwise we're getting a lot of standard builds out here. Very interesting to see Heat Transfer has returned, as we do not see it much in recent months. Having a quick look at stats. We do see that actually, while the side of Trash Pandas did not have the largest amount of damage, actually. Hero damage coming out on their side. We did see that blow up was just too much, as all the damage they did was relatively effective. And actually, now look at it. Very spread out. Everyone was sitting around 30k except Blaze. However, on the side of Cats My Keyboard, the only, like, it's a bit more. A few people were taking just a lot of doing a lot of damage, being Vala and Junkrat, while Sonya did a lot of the siege. We will take a quick break and be back in a few moments when I have our map 3 loaded up. When I get the right transition. There we go. Welcome back. We are now up to the third map of the series, which we see to be a Battlefield of Eternity. Let's not dally around and get straight into the action. When I remember that to change over to this one before I click this button. Right, on the left-hand side of Trash Pandas, I'm happy. I'm happy, Lich Queen. I'm happy, chat. There's an Uther. Cortezal is on Uther. Xeno Ender is back on that Imperius, as well as Obelisk on that Blaze. Milk being on the Greymane, and a solo lane Raynor. I like it. On the right-hand side, we have Nejum on the Cassia. Ghost on that hero. Yeah, you know, the Orb hero. Li Ming. Apple back on the Brightwing. PJ Red back on the Mei, and again, Sonya just coming up top lane. Koala and Sonya having to deal with this ranged assassin coming into their off lane, not being a traditional off laner. Anyway, off lane, I love you. Here's where reaction is. Okay, we do again see this just general eternal conflict, not being the Immortals, however, being just people clearing waves around them. As we do see that, at the current point in time at least, the side of Cats on My Keyboard does have a wave clear advantage. Right, let's have a brief look at talents. Okay, kind of expected from the side, from at least Raynor, as we do see Exterminator, probably the best map for that talent, especially with them being in the offlane, helping that out a lot. Greymane does their normal thing. Uther is going full stun build, very interesting. We see The stun train coming out of PJ Red, however, is not quite online yet, as Obelisk did miss their charge. Spear from Beerus, and we do see that unstopped Globe talent from Blaze. It'll be very hard to dislodge with the side of not Cats on my keyboard. Very hard for Cats on my keyboard to dislodge Trash Pandas from this objective. However, we'll be trying their best. PJ Red does get a blizzard down on the objective. However, it is a bit early, as now they do not have it for another 8 seconds. Getting hit by that stun train and will go down. Ouch. Big ouch, indeed. Should mention that through this, actually, Nejum on the Cassia is getting a lot of stacks with Thunderstroke. That will pay off a lot later, as the Q build is probably a bit better for Race on Immortal. Oh, Raynor has been trying to steal it. Koala did actually scout out with it and will be deciding to take it. We'll give you an update on this in a few seconds. Oh, wait. We're just getting a General Fat here. Oh, Brightwing decides to phase shift. Yep, that is definitely theirs now. However, the team of Trash Pandas now know that Brightwing has gone up. Oh, interesting. Oh my lord, we just saw a pincer maneuver essentially on Nejum. Getting hit by both the Spear and Blaze charge. Spear from Imperius and the Blaze charge just collapsing in on them, just going, bad. Don't do that stuff to us. Yep, excellent timing. As we see in just a few seconds, Immortals will be called. There it is, just like clockwork, because, well, it is 2 minutes 30 on most maps, each objective spawns. Unless you're talking about Alterac, then the objective of the camp happens at the minute mark. Oh, we're getting very aggressive here, actually. Red needs to finish this now, and they do before Xeno Ender decides to engage. Race should be very interesting here, actually. I'll give the advantage, actually, for a moment over to the side of Trash Pandas, as they have both this Exterminator Raynor as well as this Greymane. I spoke too soon, however, as per usual. Wait. No, I didn't. They definitely had that raise there. Yeah, they're attacking the Red Immortal. Okay, we see a defensive measure coming out from the side of Cats on my keyboard. Koala taking a lot of damage, however, that stun circle will come out. Xeno Ender gets stunned by a long time. He was also stunned by the Immortal. Will go down here. Obelisk taking a decent amount of damage. The side of Cats on my keyboard, all relatively healthy, while Trash Pandas have to disengage due to the Imperius going down and getting a bit low on a few resources, as Ufa likes for short fights. Anything a bit more drawn out does not favour him at all. We have Sonya has actually gone back to start the race for the side of Cats on my keyboard. However, we see the rest of Cats on my keyboard going for a defense here. It's hard to say with early Immortals, the early Immortal, as respawn times are so short. There really is a question of, do we have to defend or should we just race? As we do see a full engage coming out onto the side of Cats on my keyboard, as PJ Red and Nejum is going very low. The actual stun from the Immortal combos Obelisk into the Blizzard. However, nothing will come of it. Very aggressive fight here for the side of Cat on my keyboard. Excellent stun train, and it means May will go down first. Koala also getting relatively low. Spinning to get that extra 10% move speed, I believe, and will get out safely. Whew. That was a lot happening just there. But now, we have the Immortal coming into top lane. For anyone in chat who doesn't know, I will always explain map mechanics as quick as I can. Because you may play HOTS and just not know how it works, or you just may not play HOTS and really not know how it works. The Immortal, the objective here, will always go to the lane with the most structure health. As we saw, the gates here took more damage than the gates up here originally. The Immortal, Ilarion, in this instance, decided to come up to top. Obelisk taking a lot of damage, however, is able to stay alive thank you to the peel of his team. Ghost does really want to get in there, however, will not step any further up, as this Immortal needs to be defended before Fort falls. And that does indeed happen. What is the plan here from both sides? We do see sevens have come through. Still getting relatively standard builds from both teams. Ufa making sure no one is deciding to start this camp, and actually warding this front bush, making sure no one pushes into them. I hope that the side of Cats and Kittens do check this, and they do. Cortezal still not scouted with this bush. PJ Red a bit late on the camp, however, it's not the end of the world. Ufa stun comes out, does not do much. Blaze actually got very low and had to back out. Koala also rotated up. Has given this camp over at bottom to the side of Trash Pandas for free. Okay, we're just seeing a soft siege coming out from the side of Cats on my keyboard. As I say this constantly, the Li Ming main on our team does not agree with me, surprise, surprise. But I think there should be a bit like Chromie that Li Ming does a bit less damage to structures, just because it feels a bit BS sometimes. Excellent disengage by both Apple and Ghost. And Sonya taking a lot of damage. Xeno Ender actually also trading out a lot of their health as well for this team fight. As we see Raynor coming up late. That was a very, very sketchy team fight for the side of Trash Pandas. However, they're very lucky to get out with all their life. You know what? There's a number I haven't looked at recently. That wasn't what I wanted. Ufa, I love you. You're not what I wanted. I'm sorry. I wanted to look at APM. Because APM definitely matters in this game. Sonya run. Oh, Apple actually gets stunned by the Ufa. However, Obelisk missed the follow-up. I do like this safe rotation, letting them go out. As we see APM going through the roof from May. Oh my word. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Talents have come through. We do see Curse Bullet coming out again. Hyperion. Divine Storm. So we do have a full stun build Ufa. Angelic Armaments. And again, that Combustion. I may have questioned it the first map. I questioned it the second map and I got proved wrong about its value. I'm still questioning it, I'm going to be honest. I think Bunker is a very good ult. However, Combustion does occasionally have a time and a place. And has extra damage in the 4-man that may be at Koala getting very aggressive. However, stun does happen to come out onto the Li Ming first. Li Ming getting a full combo. And that's Caster actually. I can't tell what heroes are in the big mess of these team fights. But it is excellent stun coming out from the Sonya, getting a 4-man stun. Oh, Ghost holding, not quite holding on as the damage does eventually come through. And Sonya also going down here. This is the team comps of this very well practiced stun team comp from the side of Trash Pandas is coming off as they want to team fight. This map is one of the maps where team fighting and objective are the only two real things. As macro, take camps, clear a wave. Oh, what a shame. However, it's only 2 lanes, so we have a fair team fight. However, of this stun train of Xeno Ender and Obelisk has been proving throughout the game time, and I've gone to Ufa. Ufa also having a follow-up for that stun train, especially now with Divine Storm. Does a lot throughout this match. And we'll continue. We should see. Oh, that was just a button. I didn't intend on pressing one entirely. Let's go back to this. It does have a lot of CC to lock people down and get that extra damage out, as Greymane and Raynor are both very good at shredding what they want to. We do see Raynor is pushing top throughout this phase, so we do have a man advantage down at least in the bottom lane for Cats on my keyboard. That is an excellent 2-man stun. Xeno Ender follows up. Curse Bullet drops Sonya very low. Phase Shift does have to come out on Koala, however, Greymane is the first to go down as we hear the Lightning Orb coming down. Xeno Ender has to charge over wall. That's why I said Xenomorph. There's Xeno Ender on the team. Everything makes sense to me now. Obelisk goes down shortly after Xeno Ender, however. Yep, and we go back to defending the Immortal. However, already a bit costly phase for the side of Cats on my keyboard as both forts have gone down. And it looks like this tower may go down as well, as Alarian is hurting it a bit. Koala deciding to run down GG Valera. However, hits a minion with her spear as opposed to Valera, and Valera is running for her dear life. Ufa does get a stun to help get her out, and she actually lives. The gank wasn't quite coordinated enough between the heroes on the side of Cats on my keyboard, and just that kill slipped through the cracks, and it would have been what they needed to help get them on equal footing with Trash Pandas. Yes, I am good at remembering names. Don't question it. Please don't question it, I'll cry. Yeah, we do see that, like, the counter engage is clearly trying to happen from the side of Cats on my keyboard, but it's just not quite as well executed as the actual full engage stun combination coming out from the side of... I keep forgetting names, Trash Pandas. I'm going to start saying blue side and red side soon. We're getting this close. And here we see the siege coming out from both the Greymane and the... I was about to call him Gun Varian. That's just not even remotely right. Raynor and Greymane both do an incredible amount of siege between them as consistent auto-attack damage, especially when they are doing that bonus damage, and we have bonus damage to things on Exterminator, as well as the faster autos from Greymane does actually get through a lot of these structures quite quickly, as it is one of the best ways to quickly rip through. Sure, you have things like Jaina, who does a lot of damage to almost anything she touches. However, for consistent damage on structures and immortals, these two heroes are almost unrivaled. One of the best people to run into it is this Lemming. However, we did see them opt into the Calamity build, which, yes, wants to teamfight a lot more than do the race, and however, we don't see it quite paying off at the moment. We'll likely see engage here. Lemming does not quite have Wave of Force backup and actually has to back out. Koala is able to dodge the spear. Cortezal is being collapsed upon, losing a lot of her health very quickly. Does have to use Divine Storm. Apple eats a lot of damage. That is Ufa down first. However, Ufa is still technically up, and the healing was even buffed. Should be able to keep up with team for a lot of this. Apple does use Face on Ghost. PJ Red has to slide out. Koala looks like to be in it, and they do not have the option to get out. Apple coming up to the Greymane does get a polymorph out. Actually, is a very good deterrent. No one likes becoming a sheep or a crab or whatever it is, and we do have to see them back out. Go Najum, chase him down. Obelisk getting out barely. Oh, nope. Lemming takes him down. Milk goes in and actually trades. Lemming gets off that last cast just before they go down. And we saw a magic missile taking out the Greymane. Xeno ended up bravely spearing in. However, it was all for naught, I mean, as we see them go down at the end. Ufa being very brave, just stepping up here, bonking, hitting them with a hammer bonk, making sure they can't move. And unfortunately, maybe not the correct choice. We're getting a little bit of staggers coming out from the side of Trash Pandas now. They need to mentally regroup throughout this, as they are now kind of just losing this extra damage that they need for these fights. Greymane's being very brave, I should mention. Stepping up to this area. We do actually see Sonya coming down onto them and Ghost coming in from underneath. Or not. Charge coming out onto PJ Red. PJ Red also eating Curse Bullet immediately afterwards, gets stunned on Obelisk. Obelisk is slowed, as we do see May actually has slows on almost every ability of her kit. Good cleanse by Apple, however, it was not needed, as every single member of Cats on My Keyboard was able to dodge that spear. They may be now adapting to the actual playstyle of this double stun comp. Right, we're going to see Ilarion start to get burned down. Blaze is still 25 seconds out. We're on even talents, but however, Cats on My Keyboard does have a numbers advantage, and we will see the third immortal phase going over to the side of Cats on My Keyboard, their very first immortal for this game, and hopefully we'll be able to get a structure off of this. Right, so this time we're going to see Belith entering the field as in the lanes. We've had Ilarion both sides, who is the Angel, Belith being the Demon immortal on this map. They have the same abilities. They're essentially the exact same thing. One just looks like a demon, the other an angel. Wow. We just see a bush check here for safety. I should close this so we can see the full screen. Okay, we're seeing just poke damage coming through from Ghost with that triumvirate. Sorry, I had to briefly lift my mic, as I don't think anyone wants to hear what can only be described as a grandpa sneeze coming through the microphone. This immortal's getting relatively low already. Excellent leap coming out onto the Ufa being polymorph to follow up. Getting boot back in, further in by PJ Red, however, is able to get out. Icefall has stopped Obelisk from going in the gate, and actually he takes a lot of damage. Will go down to the Cassia. Oh my gosh, Milk getting very low as well. Najum very much wants him. Excellent stun by Cortezal, keeping him off his friendly Greymane. However, are we going to see... Yep, we see that the side of Cats on My Keyboard has decided to keep sieging this, even for a little bit. Stun comes out onto Koala. Koala is not taking it very lightly. PJ Red also looks like they're about to get stunned again and has to back out. Whew! Bloody hell, we are getting close here. Ghost, you're very aggressive. You should not be here at this point in time. Oh, well. Excellent Calamity. I thought that was going to be a full disengage by the side of Cats My Keyboard, so I was questioning it, but what do I know? I'm not in the team comms. I wish I could hear the team comms, but I cannot. Okay, we see camps being taken again by both sides. We see the safe camp being taken by Trash Pandas, and we just see the neutral top siege camp taken by Cats on My Keyboard. Seeing now Macro Petra actually starting to come through this top lane as both are getting a catapult every 3 waves, I believe. However, we do see that this bottom lane is still having a lot of siege value as we don't have any catapults coming from the side of Cats on My Keyboard. And we do see a Shaman camp from the side of Trash Pandas. We're getting an aggressive rotation here, it looks like. We may get a team fight. Or at least someone's going to be they're going to try catch someone out in rotation. Apple, this is very dangerous. They're playing very safe over here on the side of Cats on My Keyboard as they are just checking every bush. However, they have not checked the only one people in it. Good, separate Milk in a very dangerous spot. Sonya did use a leap, gets phase shift off to help him keep up. However, that stun chain is too much as both Brightwing and Sonya go down, trading that out for the Greymane. Sure, that there was a lot of damage taken out on the side of Trash Pandas. Greymane is actually an excellent team fight hero, and we do see that. We don't actually see that aggro in here. We see Blaze as the most damage. Not what I was expecting, but it's okay. Ghost, very interesting place to phase shift out. I actually had a brief panic for them just seeing the Imperius slowly walk up. I was going to say before that happened that unfortunately for Cats on My Keyboard, they lost Sonya, one of their frontliners, as well as Brightwing. Probably one of the most important heroes on their team as a healer. Without your healer in this game, it becomes a lot. You get a lot more difficulty trying to get into areas. We see a good combo coming out by Cassie, however, does get hit by the spear. Blaze charge did miss. Oh, we've got it. Combustion, let's go. You're doing damage. You're doing damage. You're doing damage. Najum gets very low. Actually, Brightwing comes up at the perfect time, able to save him. Greymane just... Greymane, you had a brief stint outside of your core. Ooh, Cortez will take a lot of damage. Double stun comes out, a little bit overlapped with the spear, with its stun timing. Ooh, Ghost gets the orb reset, and oh, May, I like it, I like it. Do you have a follow-up for it? Perfect timing from the Li Ming. Right, they need to defend this phase. As now, oh no, we see what. Okay, you're deciding to run it down, aren't you? Are you just going to give that soak? Apple is going to deal. Go, Apple. Fight. You got this. You don't got this, but you can try. Valera is just deciding to push down bottom for now, using the Hyperion and deciding to leave. I do like the call for that. They also used Inspire and the Wave. A recent change to Inspire meant that now it's no longer dropped from minions when the cooldown is over or Raynor leaves the area. Raynor, however, is now in a what I could only call bad position. Sorry, sorry if I come across as offensive, but that's very unfortunate. They knew that they were taking a risk, and they were indeed punished for it. Okay. Give me a moment. I just want to adjust something very slightly. There we go. That looks a bit better. Belif is now taking on this mid fort. There's no actual early protection coming out from the side of... Defense is a better word. We see no early defense coming out from the side of Trash Pandas as they're like, okay, we're one down. Give them that fort. We'll defend it. Keep. And here we see it to keep coming out. I should mention that Belif did not have that much shields as they did lose a lot of their health during that first half of the Immortal phase. We're seeing a lot getting done here by the side of Cats on My Keyboard, and I don't know who had pinged the Greymane, but Greymane does get out as they were a bit overextended compared to the rest of the team. Xeno Ender is looking to clear this. As Blaze does give a charge onto... Oh my lorsh. Koala takes a lot of damage. Blaze does have that flash fire in the backline. Only hits 2, however. Sonya uses leap to get onto their backline. Gets taken out by a full stun combo. PJ Red has to pop the ice block. Ghost getting relatively low. PJ Red, you're in trouble. You're all in trouble. Nejum goes down. Unfortunately, Obelisk goes down. That's a mana reset by Li Ming. Milk getting relatively low. Calamity just going out very slowly. GG Valera is also going to go down. That means Apple, PJ Red, and Ghost are all up. That is actually a combo that can end here, or at least take a lot of health off the core, and we do actually see that core has happened. Should be mentioned, Ghost on the Li Ming is starting to run out of resources. I wonder how long they can actually siege this for. We do see the stun coming out from Uva. Not much avail, as we don't see a lot of damage being able to follow up. Xeno Ender did not decide to spare onto it. Brightwing is showing that they can use Phase Shift very soon. I do like the call. We've still got roughly 30 seconds till people start coming up. But good polymorph by... Oh, the unstop coming out from Ufa. Means that Xeno Ender will not get stunned for the end of it. Oh, shields have just gone down from the core now. Li Ming is taking a lot of damage. Ghost does blink in toward Cortez, always taking a lot of damage. Phase Shift coming out onto Ghost, does get him out ever so slightly. Ooh. A lot has happened here, however, the core took no damage. That was a bit of a waste, in all honesty. I do like the attempt to try at least get the shields down and get some percentage on the core. However, just Li Ming getting really low on those resources meant not enough could happen. As you see, just going back to this second objective of Bruiser camps being taken. All relatively safe play for now. Okay, what are we planning on doing here? We also both teams have 20s, I should have mentioned. And let's actually head over to our talent section. We see, again, very similar builds coming up from both sides. Ufa actually now gets 50 armor. That may be a bit too much for the side of Cats on my keyboard to deal with, as, well, none of them have percentage or armor ignoring talents. Cortez was taking a lot of damage. Just barely holding on, however, goes down. Should be mentioned again that Ufa does get a healing buff after they die. I know that they are dead. However, Ufa does a lot of healing, a lot of single target healing throughout that very short phase. Li Ming did go down. That is a lot of their damage gone, especially for the team fight. Okay, we see a slow walk coming up here. Very good at PJ Red to be able to choose to defend. However, while they're all here defending, no one is racing. They do need at least the Sonya or the Cassia to do something here, as they're just kind of wasting time. As Ufa is back up before the Li Ming due to the level deficit on the side of Trash Pandas. Very jank looking charge as was round wall. PJ Red also getting hit by Curse Bullet. Xeno Ender is actually taking a lot of damage. Lose Arcane, Angelic Armaments, and lose it. Leap did come out from Koala, not actually hitting anyone. The slow comes out from PJ Red, hitting Valley Ray. Oh, excellent 4-man stun. However, will lose their life for it. And the other two assassins from the side of Trash Pandas are able to get out. PJ Red looking to defend while the rest race. I do like that call. Oh, Ufa is now respawned. GG Valera is deciding to start racing. Starts to get zoned out by PJ Red yet again. Greymane thought about doing camp. Still thinking about doing camp? You sure, Greymane? Right, let's just go back down here. Okay, we see a stun combo coming out from Cortez. A lot of people taking damage, a lot of people getting stunned. However, just not quite enough to actually do too much. As, sure, the damage is there. They do not have that CC chain that has been working for them for most of the game. Very aggressive rotation by PJ Red and Nejum. Nejum goes in. We did hear the Infinite Lightning Orb going out, actually getting a lot of damage out. Milk will fall here. First to fall. Second to fall is the second DPS of Raynor. And now, oh, hold on, Ufa! No. And now they just go to Walk of Shame. What is your plan here? Cool, Cat's on my keyboard. I nearly called you wrong team again. I am so sorry. I do like this call from Apple, just blinking out, halving out now as they do a phase shift up. And that second fort will mean that keep going down will mean that no matter what happens, Belith, the red team's immortal, will be going straight to core. Oh, it is top lane. Fun. Don't know why it chose that, but it chose that. I do like this play from red, deciding to push against the immortal, meaning that the tanks, that Obelisk and Xeno Ender have to make a decision whether they defend the 5-man push down here first, or defend the immortal coming in. I'd like to see maybe a bit more patience coming out here, but there's no need to, as both Greymane and Raynor actually is respawning. Now is the time to get what siege you can. We see again a lot of posturing. as Obelisk, as I said, the side of Cats on My Keyboard is not an engaged team. They are a counter-engaged team. They need Obelisk and Xeno Ender to both go in. And here we see Belif starting to get to the core now. So now is the time for Cats on My Keyboard to make a choice. Do they go into the core? Do they team fight? Xeno Ender getting relatively low early on. Blasted actually charged into the backline. There's a lot of damage. Excellent cleanse coming out from the Brightwing. Ghost dodges it, and however, throughout that fight, the core was going down. And that will be it for the first game of the evening. Right, let's just quickly jump over to some talents while I remember. It's this one. And here are your talents. We saw a lot of siege coming out from both Greymane. We saw a lot of siege coming out from Greymane, actually. No, that's not Greymane. That's Raynor. I'm so sorry. Because we're sitting at around 114k. That's not including damage coming out onto the Immortal. Li Ming, very similar thing actually, but a lot of that will be building damage from both of them. Sonya, same thing. Thing that stands out to me is the healing done by Apple. Saved a lot of people throughout that match, and we did see that 137k paying off. Well, I love Ufa with a passion. Him on solo healer, especially on a map with drawn out fights such as this, but that can go drawn out such as this, is a bit rough, especially into poke heroes such as Li Ming and Cassia. All in all, that will be this series for the evening. I will be back with another cast in maybe... We're going to go with 8-ish minutes just to get it in the right time period. However, thank you for people who are at least watching this cast. I shall take a brief break, have some water, set up for the next cast as I said before, and we will see where we go from there. That is me for the moment, and I will be right